vlog, but more importantly, welcome to a very special holiday edition gig vlog. We're calling this one DJ Barr's Holiday After Party, a look back at all of the holiday parties that I DJ'd this year. Rather than making a bunch of individual holiday gig vlogs, I've decided to combine all of the holiday parties that I DJ'd that I was allowed to record into one easy to consume 20 to 30 minute video. I hope some of them were good and some of them were bad. And speaking of bad parties, I actually ended up doing a party this year that was a complete and total train wreck. When I asked the audience if they had any requests, they all requested that I should go myself. But I digress. In this video, I'm mostly going to be showing you guys the highlights so that you guys can consume it nice and easy. Before we get into the actual gigs, I do want to talk a little bit about the equipment that I use. In all these gigs, I pretty much use the same exact setup. Most of these gigs only called for 2 speakers, a mixer, and a facade. You guys have seen me bring that setup out to multiple gigs, although I did tweak it a little bit. I have been placing the speakers behind the actual facade. I think it looks quite nice, and I found that when I do this, it actually saves time on my setup process. Let me know what you guys think, and I did exchange the PVs and the JBLs every now and then. So in some of the gigs, you'll see that I'm using JBLs, and some of the other gigs, you'll notice that I'm using PVs. And as far as lighting goes, I mostly use my American DJ Mega 64 Hex Pars, as well as my American DJ UB12H Barr. Last but not least, you'll also notice that the Ape Labs 8 Lite Maxi played a big role in all these gigs. I brought them out to every single event, and sometimes that's all I use. And as always, if you want a more detailed description of all the equipment that I use, there will be a more detailed description down in the description of this video, so feel free to check it out if you're interested in the equipment that I am using. It's now time for the fun part. It's actually time to start taking a look at some of these gigs. These gigs are in no particular order, so I'm just gonna try to cultivate a nice little story out of all of these gigs. Let's get started with the first one. This one actually was one of my favorites, if not my favorite holiday party that I did this year. And it's actually from a company that I actually DJ'd 2 years ago, and they actually didn't call me back last year, so I thought that they weren't happy with my performance from 2 years ago, but they told me that last year they actually didn't have one, so that made sense why they didn't call me. They did call me back this year, and it went off like a bang.
Here we go. until next time, my name is DJ Barr. Have a good night. Drive home safe, everybody.
I love performing for this company because it's mostly girls that work there, so it's very easy to get them dancing. They were up and dancing pretty much the whole night. The only real issues that I had at this party was A, it was snowing. There was a bit of a snowstorm that night, and B, the room layout. The room layout was horrible. When I showed up, the maitre d' said that I would be setting up behind a couple of tables, and the tables were like about 2 inches from me, and I told the maitre d', I actually threatened her. Listen, you gotta move these tables around or else I'm not performing. I have a clause in my contract that says if there's tables directly in front of me and directly in front of the speakers, I can refuse not to play. When I told it I was gonna call the client and let them know that I wasn't playing because she refused to move those tables out of my way, she pretty much obliged, and they did end up shifting the room so that I could be directly in front of the dance floor. I don't get why these venues don't understand that the DJ needs to be in front of the dance floor. Let me know what you guys thought about that particular gig. This next party that I DJ'd, I mentally prepared myself going into it because it was on a Monday night, so I thought that the crowd was going to be a little bit rough. If you guys have ever done holiday parties, you know that sometimes those aren't the easiest to get the people up and going. It's hard to get them to loosen up around their co-workers. This one, I did have that issue, but once I did get them up and dancing, it was easy cruising to the finish line. Great crowd, but it was just tough to get them up and dancing. Up next is the sexiest holiday party that I DJ'd this year, and you'll see why in the video.
I wish that every day of the year could have the love that we feel on Christmas Day. Habibi, ya aini
was another great party, but just like in the other one, it was a bit tough to get this crowd up and going. And one thing that was working against us was that this venue was massive. The dance floor was huge, so I really couldn't capture the dance floor in its full entirety. I wasn't sure whether the dance floor was packed because it was very blotchy. There would be empty spots in the dance floor and some packed spots in the dance floor. So there was that, but that was only because the venue was so big. But overall, it was a great party, and I know in fact that they were enjoying themselves because they did ask me to stay an extra hour. This party ran for a very, very long time. But what was cool about it was that this crowd was heavy into EDM music, and you guys know I'm a huge house head, so I got to spin a lot of house tracks, which was freaking awesome. This next party that I DJ'd, I really didn't grab much footage from it, and it was mostly because this was a tough crowd. They did not want to get up and dance. I had a couple people up and dancing here and there, but honestly there was no type of consistency in this party. But I'll show you guys the nice venue and the nice setup that I had at this party. But this was definitely the roughest party that I DJ'd. On to the next holiday party, and this by far is the biggest holiday party of them all. This was a party with 700 guests. 700. Woo!
Train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, let's go! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, let's go! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, let's go! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, let's go! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, let's go! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, let's go!
If you're having a good time, make some noise for me out there, everybody jump! Everybody hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Here we go, here we go. When the beat drop, I need everybody to jump.
If you guys know anything about DJing, you know that there is safety in numbers. And well, this one proved it, because even if there was 200 people dancing, that's still a lot of people. So it was an overall great party. The only thing that was killing me at this party was the request. Man, there were so many people there that I was just getting bombarded with freaking requests. So let's say I would do some hip hop. The people who don't like hip hop would come tell me. Let's say I would do country. The people who don't like country would come tell me that they don't like it. It was very, very hard finding a happy medium to please everybody. And when you do these large scale events, there's no pleasing everybody. But overall, this was a great, great gig. 700 guests. Wow. Next up on our list is the fanciest party that I DJ'd this year. This party was freaking amazing. It was at a super, super elegant location, a super elegant venue. Even the roof at this venue was fancy. And get this, this wasn't even the main ballroom. This was their basement. I was definitely taken back by the elegance of this place. Not only that, but also their staff. Their staff was very, very friendly. This is definitely a place that I want to go back to and work. I was just taken back by the whole experience. Great staff, great venue, awesome party. Hands down, this is one of the fanciest venues I've ever performed at, guys. This place is insane. Look at this. Finally, my years of hard work have paid off. This place is, it's freaking incredible. It's freaking awesome. This was a great party. I had a lot of compliments at the end, but there were a couple of things that were working against me. There were a lot of speeches, and I'm talking about an hour worth of speeches at this party. And not only that, they also played a lot of games, a lot of holiday games.
On the first day of Christmas, the banana came to me, planted in a pear tree.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me servations cause she loves me.
And a lot of people kind of zoned out on it, so people would be talking on the microphone trying to explain the rules of these games, and people were just not paying attention. And as soon as we were done playing all these holiday games and speeches, everybody just bailed. A lot of people walked out as soon as the speeches ended, which kind of bummed me out because I didn't have that dance floor that I wanted. The dance floor was not as big as it could have been, but there were some people that definitely stayed and partied till the end. So kudos to those people. I had a great time, and I hope to do this party again next year. This was awesome, awesome, awesome crowd. The last and final party is one that might be familiar to some of you OG viewers. This is actually the warehouse party that I do every year. This is is up in the running again for probably the best holiday party that I DJ'd this year. It happens every year inside of that warehouse. You guys will see in the footage that it's very, very, very industrial looking, if you will. And there's not that many employees. There's only about, I want to say 50 employees, but man, they get down. It's always a fun time playing for those people, and this year was no exception. I really felt in the zone. I was very, very happy with my performance at this particular event. Check it out.
Here comes the music.
What did you guys think? Pretty dope, huh? Now, I did run into an issue at this party, and I wouldn't necessarily call it an issue, but they did ask me to stay an extra hour. And every time clients ask me to stay an extra hour, I try to talk them out of it, because usually that extra hour never ends strong. And that happened at this particular party. They asked me to stay an extra hour, and people were just done. They didn't want to party anymore, so a lot of people left at that last hour, so it really wasn't that packed dance floor that we had for the rest of the 4 hours. I really don't encourage having 5-hour parties. 4 hours is all you need, people. 4 hours. I always like to leave guests at a party wanting more of the party. I don't want them feeling like they've had too much of a party. But regardless, I digress. Let me know, out of all these parties that I showed you, which one was your favorite. Let me know your questions, comments, and concerns. Any thoughts that you may have down in the comments below. I'll be sure to reply to you guys. Also, let me know how your Christmas was. Let me know if you got any new DJ gear for Christmas. That'll do it for this video, guys. Please like it if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And if you really want to help me out, don't forget to turn on that bell. Wishing you guys a happy and safe holiday and a happy and prosperous new year. Your boy, your homie, your favorite YouTuber, DJ Barr. Thank you guys for being awesome. Stay awesome, my friends. I'll see you guys in 2018. Peace. Happy New Year, bros.